Another day, another box. Should I even bother? Should I even bother calling these unboxings? Just because, well, I'm not really talking about the box as much as, I mentioned in the one of the previous videos. And it doesn't really seem to get anybody's attention. Like the very first video that I posted, which was of Power of the Prime's Evolution Optimus Prime. As of this recording, it's not even reached 300 views. So, and like, it may have something to do with I posted all these videos all one right after the other. So, yeah, that can wear away. But I'm not that kind of YouTube channel. So, give me give me your honest opinion. Should I continue to do these unboxings? And like, oh, look at the shit that I got in the mail and first reactions and all those things. Should I? I mean, I want an answer. And I want a flood of comments saying, do you want, I mean, obviously, people want reviews out of me, and I've done a couple of those, a couple of months ago, but should I keep doing the unboxing thing? Should I even bother? I feel like, well, it, it lets people know that I'm still around, and it lets people know what I'm thinking about the content at the time, but like, is it even worth the effort to unbox these things and ooh, this looks interesting. Should I even bother? Please do leave a comment. If you comment on nothing else in this video or in within this video, let me know. Should I continue and also should I even keep calling them unboxings? It could be vlog. It could be something like that. Or I could call it the squeaky chair unboxing. I could always call it that. I don't know. So this time the package comes from Walmart.com and is once again a Studio Series, Transformers Studio Series. I did mention it would be Transformers again. Studio Series Starscream in his Movie 1 coloring. So none of that tribal tattoo bullshit. To be fair, I didn't mind the tattoos, just it didn't make sense for the character. Even in Bayformers, it didn't make a lot of sense to do that, so... And as I previously mentioned, I already have the movie Masterpiece version, which is really, really neat. But I didn't have a Voyager version of him. There's been, three or four. There were three versions, three Voyager-sized versions of him, and they were all good and whatever. But then I got the Leader Class version, which is the one I really wanted, and it was a really neat figure. But this one is more screen accurate than any other, and it also comes with the proper weapon design. So. Big screen inspired scale detail backdrop Mission City battle, because why not? Starscream soars amid skyscrapers with tactical precision to annihilate opponents. I know you're not supposed to say this about jet formers or aircraft formers, but I hope they took care of the kibble a little better. I mean, the kibble on that movie Masterpiece Leader Class figure was pretty darn atrocious. Just basically everything was hanging out underneath it. It only looked good if you looked at it from above. You looked at it from the side or the bottom or the back. Well, the front was kind of okay. But, I mean, I wish Hasbro and Takara would start, come on. You can get tanks to be viewed from the front, side, and top, and, maybe there might be some kibble on the back. But it's okay to have the kibble on the bottom. That's okay because you're not going to see it when it's rolling around. So, could they do something about that, please? Wow. There's 4 different paint schemes on here. It's great. And his arms are nice and thin and long. I heard somebody refer to him as a roof tile. That's absolutely true. Was I pissed off that he was an F-22 instead of an F-15? No. No, because who the hell drives an F-15 these days? Just because it's old doesn't mean you throw it away. Take this chair, for example. I suppose just because it's old doesn't mean you trash it, I suppose. Ooh, and the first thing we're going to do is scratch the missile launcher. Oh, it's asymmetrical. I did not know that. He came with a missile launcher on the Leader Class figure. But it was kind of a half-ass thing. So I mean, it kind of looked the way it did in the movie, but the whole reason was shaped the way it was in the leader class figures so that it could hold a single, huge missile about that long. So I've started catching up on the eighth and final season of Netflix Voltron Legendary Defender. Oh, the show is so good. They're finally wrapping up all their story arcs and things like that. So old faces are returning and all that jazz. That season opener. God damn it. Wow. I want this cough to go away. I want this cough to go away. I want this cough to go away. It doesn't even leave me alone in summer. Like it's not a seasonal cough. It's year round. Ooh, he's nice and weighty. Nicely proportioned. Even the leader class figure didn't have these proportions. Nice. His torso has all the bulk, or has most of it. His arms are really skinny, and his legs are really small too. Excellent. I was not offended by this version of Starscream. Maybe personality, but not his appearance. The head was kind of questionable. I thought the Studio Series was completely new molds. I say this because this particular bit of kibble here, looks very similar to I want to say the Dark of the Moon Voyager version. Looks really similar. So, yeah, I thought it's very strange. Or maybe it's just that's how it's supposed to work. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his jet engines visible anywhere on his back, unfortunately, so. Regrettably, there's been no toy version of him. Oh, well, okay, this is different. The engines are now mounted at the back of his chicken leg knees, or whatever it is. There's the engine exhaust. Okay. But, no, he had the jet engines on his back. I guess they just weren't able to do that for some reason again. Double elbow. Awesome. Transformation hinge in his wrist, but there's also a ball joint in his hinge. He has all 3 fingers and 2 thumbs. This is how Starscream's hands work. No ratcheting whatsoever. Head on a ball joint? No, it is not. It's on a swivel, or is it? Yeah, his head's on a swivel. I wonder if you could tilt his head back. Oh, you can. It's due to transformation, but. And again, lovely, lovely sculpting detail. Maybe I should show it to you guys. And as usual, the bleaching's coming in, so it's molded in 3 different colors, 2 shades of gray. One's kind of a bluish gray, and the other's kind of a pale sand gray. And then there's the typical dark military gray. And then there's white highlights. A little sloppy with his eyes. Because Starscream has one iris, or he has one eye, but then there's kind of a metal band that goes between. And this is how it is. And that's actually how a lot of Bayformers, that's how they blink, is the thing will move up and down. So, but in this case, the paint applications are. Maybe they didn't have a choice. It's possible they didn't have a choice. I mean, it's a small enough area that might have been difficult to get, the little iris taken care of. There is a cockpit seat, and it has a little control stick, but there's no pilot. No surprise there, which is fine. Wow, his arms are painted every which way. Nice. Wow, that's great. It's a lighter, it's a lighter gray than the movie masterpiece version that I had. It's lighter colored. I wonder if those pieces are still kibble. I see joints, so they just might be. That's funny. And then he has his landing gear. I don't know the movie Starscream that well, so I don't know if the landing gear were always in his feet or not. Oh, does he have? Oh, his little toe joints. Bends downwards, but not upwards. So, yes. And then he has a double knee joint. So, which bugged a lot of people. Mostly G1ers are bug G1ers, but other than kind of the shape of his face, which is kind of, which I mean, if you look at all of the Bayformers that are out there, even Megatron's face isn't even remotely look barely anything at all. Like if you had to like the Bayformers who look the most like their G1 counterparts, off the top of my head, Optimus Prime is obviously the first and best, is the closest one. Arguably Bumblebee, arguably, but he doesn't have the little horns on either side. Well, he kind of does. He has little flap thingies or whatever it is. Um, but then he had that big kind of mask thing or whatever it is, so which nobody cared about. So that being the case, and then all the other heads are just kind of whatever they come up with. Um, just not. I'm not a big fan of the Starscream head design. Just whatever. It's nice and all, but like just don't care. This is mouth open. Oh, it'd be great if his mouth opened up. It opens on the leader class figure. No, I don't think it opens, unfortunately. Huh. This looks great. It's great, and all the techie detail in here on the underarm. That's great. In the leader class figure, which this one does not recreate, he actually has an extra joint on the inner, not out here for his shoulder, but on the inner side. So it's actually possible for him to cross his shoulders to bring his arms forward. He can actually flex his shoulders in and out on the later class figure. That's just that, and it's a detail that isn't even part of the transformation. He just has this ability to move his shoulders forward and back. It's great. It's awesome, and all the techie goodness that goes with it. I'm feeling comfortable about this one. I think I'm going to try this one with a. Oh, right. Forgot. Before I forget. Let's see. He does have a. He's got a machine gun, which is from the F-22. He's got a machine gun mounted in the. I don't remember. It might be both arms. He at least one arm has a pop-up machine gun. It's like a quad barrel machine gun or something like that. That's represented on the leader class figure, but none of the others. They've all the other figures of Starscream. They've always ever had this missile launcher thingy, which is this is actually the closest version I've seen of it. So paint details are not quite as good as they are on the as the paint details on this figure. So I'm not wholly impressed with this. But anyways, let's see what kind of damage we can do here. It's the same trick with the excuse me. It's the same trick with the leader class figure where you fold his arm up or you fold his hand up like this. But there's a tab here. Let's see. Because that tabs in, and it does not interfere with his elbow whatsoever. Even though his fingers are outstretched, there's no problem there. And then there's a horseshoe clip here, and it clips to the literal ankle. Yeah, right. It clips to his. Oh, there's a specific direction it goes. Okay. Oh, it just pegs with friction into his wrist joint. So there's his weapon, and it looks the same on the other side. It's just well, it's a bit more hollow, which okay, that's fine. The parts that are on here have been glued together, and unfortunately, it does not rotate. The weapon itself, the missiles could actually change the orientation. Gosh, this is like even more posable than the leader class figure. I got about this close to getting movie one Ramjet, which was a repaint. I got about this close to getting it, and then I'm like, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I was one of the few people who liked what that toy was. I was like this close to getting it, and I was like, can't do it, can't do it. So I don't regret not getting it, but well, I do regret not getting it, but my collection isn't really missing it. And again, when the leader class figure came out, kind of solved that problem. Okay, I'm feeling a little more comfortable this time with Studio Series. I think I'm gonna have a go with. Is this panel on his back PVC? No, it is not. Okay, I would have been surprised if I had been. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling confident. Now that I know how the thing works and where all the stupid little tabs and whatnot are located, I think I'm going to take this one on and. Oh, okay. I'm going to attack this. Yeah, you don't want to bend it that direction, Ava. That would be bad. Okay, so that actually folds inwards rather than outwards. Okay. The back of his neck it really flares out in the back. He almost has a mullet. And the only gimmick here again is transformation and posability. That's the gimmick for each of these. So and screen accuracy. Ah, okay, that's why those are so big. I was trying to figure out why he has these massive pins to either side of his hips right here. And then it turns out that later on, not right now, the main wings are going to telescope down. Like they're going to piston down. I was like, oh, okay, that's what those are for. Huh. Well, he's going to have a massive amount of kibble under his, well, massive for a Voyager, mind you. But he's going to have a large amount of kibble underneath his wings again. Although they're kind of disguising it like missile launchers. Kind of. So you can open up the front there, and there we go. Okay. Ooh, ooh, that is a tight fit for his head. Wow, that is a tight fit. How did they do that? One of the complaints that I had with the leader class figure, I'll stop talking about it when I stop loving it, is that when you close this panel up, you have no way of getting it back out. I think I should be able to push. Oh, okay, that won't be a problem. Okay, good. Good, so that'll just pop out. Good, good, good. Oh, he has landing gear. That's funny, he has landing gear. Does he? Oh, it folds backwards. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, he's still going to be a bit of a kibbly mess. But, what can you do, I suppose? Get good. Get good with the engineering. Takara, Hasbro, no excuse. Yeah. What's wrong with you? You've been designing these toys for 30 years. Yeah. He's going to be a kibble fest again, unfortunately, on the bottom. They have little tabs on the tails right there, so it won't allow you to pitch them up any more diagonal than that. So you'll never be able to raise them any higher than that, which is fine. I think the leader class figure had something similar. I wonder if... Come on, you've been doing great so far. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, that's cool. So the hands literally get sandwiched between the bicep and the forearm. Cool. And you have to tab it in on both sides too. Too many joints gets in the way. No. And that's gonna slip past there? I don't think so. How do they expect me to get that in there? What the deuce? Wait, there's an extra. Oh, wow. Wow. Holy smoky. That was gutsy of them. Wow. That's cool. That's cool how they did that. And then sandwich the hand in between the. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. No. Because like there's a hole right here, but it's difficult to tell if this is the peg. I'm having difficulty determining how far. Like I know how far this way and this way to go, but I'm having difficulty aligning it in this fashion. So that's what I'm fighting right now. Of course, I will be able to do it with one side, but I won't be able to do it with the other because I'm currently taking advantage of the gap that is not occupied. You know what? I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh, I hope they have storage space for the missile launcher. He's got 6 holes on the bottom for weapons storage. Huh? Wow. No kid would be able to figure that out without looking at the instructions. Not that the instructions are really any good for these things. Maybe. Oh, so it turns out those elbow joints are actually useful for the transformation. They're actually part of the transformation. They're essential. That closes up that. He's got a little pot belly again in jet mode. Stealth Rider's a pot belly. Now I'll telescope the wings downwards, and you can see the gap that's there between the wings. So all I'm going to do now is telescope them downwards, and that will finish it off. Of course, if you do it wrong. New question, how do you get it back up again? Oh shit, that friction is real. You know, I'm not going to push that down with everything I've got. I'm not gonna fight that. Wow. God, this is such a nasty looking plane. I'm talking the actual F-22. Unfortunately, this version is going to be a pot-bellied pig just like the previous one. Okay, now I'm going to open the instructions and see if I can peg the weapon thingy in. Decepticon Stinger. No idea who that is. Really? Well, that's disappointing. They just want you to stick it in the back. Oh, they have dedicated tabs for it, too. They almost had me. I would much rather have had it sit in the center, but no, just going to tab it in back under the engine exhaust. And there is Starscream in his F-22 mode. Or jet mode, if you insist. And rest assured, this will be the only time that I'm ever going to peg the weapon in there. That's not happening. So, yeah. At least they did us the courtesy of having actual engine exhaust showing. That's nice. And it's attached to his legs, so that's also good. Very impressive. Ooh. It is a PVC nose, but it's still sharp, so be careful with that. Yeah, unfortunately, he's got a lot of kibble showing again. I mean, from the very underside, yeah, sure, but it's kind of the sides and the back. I wish they'd minimize the kibble. So, but yeah, he's kind of messy under there. Not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. And surprisingly heavy. Like even Megatron wasn't this heavy. Megatron and Brawl, who I opened previously, like, no. Is there supposed to be a gap there? Ah. I had to tab the horizontal stabilizers needed to be tabbed in, but it still doesn't take care of that. Oh, I guess it's not supposed to. Shows how much I know about the real plane. Oh well. Or maybe it's something that they couldn't avoid with this version. Also, there's no visible port. There's no panel detail, panel lining, whatever. There's no indication of the F-22's the Gatling gun that it uses. I don't know which particular version it is, but it's one little detail that they completely forgot about. And it kind of looks like it from the side. They kind of tried to. By the way, this is kind of the underarm kibble. This is the space between. It's kind of the ribs right here. That's what ends up on the underside here. They kind of tried to make it look like. They kind of tried to make it look like missile launchers. Now, the F-22 does have the capability of external armaments, but if you want to make it actually stealthy, then it has internal storage bay for stuff like that. But I guess they just couldn't find anything better to do with this. I like this. This is nice. Squeaky chair, not so much, but dude. And I did this is actually the first Bayformer where I did. Ooh, my, okay. The first Bayformer, or the first studio series where I was able to figure out the whole bot without touching the instructions. The only thing I was curious about is, does it even store the weapon on it? And the answer is, well, yes, it does. It's just in kind of an awkward place. So, but yeah, this is awesome. I love it. This is great. And I'm so proud of myself, I figured it out all by myself without looking at the instructions. Woohoo! This is still a neat design. I like the plane and I like the bot. I don't like that he drools and I don't care about the tattoos, but I like Bayformer Starscream. He's a good character. I like him. On the other hand, I am something of a mild Starscream fan as it is already, so that doesn't matter. Okay, I am done. And so with that, this is Ava Unit 4A saying thank you for tuning in.